Welcome back to Naptown Tuner's Garage. Naptown Tuner here, the home of the YouTube channel where the only thing guaranteed to run on my compound is my 2001 Honda Insight. I'm driving that right now, by the way. This vehicle right here suffered from mechanical failure. I had a video of it live as it happened. If you didn't see that, you're slacking. But before I fix things that I neglected from mechanical failure, performance parts. Yes, performance parts. We're going to install performance parts before we do the mechanical failure repairs. Or we're gonna do performance parts before we do our preventative maintenance. Because that's what we like to do here at Naptown Tuner Garage. So we're just gonna ignore that N75 valve and those torn connectors, and we're gonna go straight to the go fast bits. Go fast bits. Here we go. It comes straight from the land of kangaroos, the animals that carry their marsupials in their pouches, and they have the strong biceps. So this part is also very strong in the bicep, since it's from the down under. And from my market research and analysis and my bar graphs and statistics, I have discovered that this actually is a performance modification. Audi likes to call this thing the diverter valve. I prefer recirculation valve because I seem to think that that makes more sense when you refer to it as that. Diverter, yeah, you're diverting the air somewhere else. Recirculation, this valve on the turbo, do I need to go into details and in-depths? We have a turbo here, Turby. He's making boost. He's making horsepowers and torques. And he's spinning his turbine wheel. And then you go and just close the throttle. Like you don't need... but you have to sometimes because you need to change gears. So when you disrupt Turby like that, that boost needs somewhere to go. If you just boom block it off, then Turby's gonna flutter and surge, and then that little Turby wheel on there is gonna flutter, and that's why you're hearing the noise. It's gonna cause disruption to that turbine wheel. That turbine wheel spins, I don't even know the spec off the top of my head, but way faster than your engine. Hundreds of thousands of RPMs, probably. A couple 100,000 maybe. Maybe I'm way off. Someone tell me in the comments how fast Turby spins. I haven't even looked it up. I just know it's really fast. You probably shouldn't put your finger into it when it's going. So that boost needs somewhere to go. So you got this little valve and you open it up and it lets the boost recirculate around the intake and the boost side, so it can go in a loop around the turbo. And then it closes and then it slams that shut, and then you're back to boost when you're back on throttle. Before that was operated on vacuum, and then they started operating it electronically. And then they made the system all built into the turbo, so it happens internally. So it's a lot more efficient. It's hard to improve this thing, but Go Fast Bits has figured out how to let just enough recirculation happen that you don't get turbo surge. Some people would say, surge on boost isn't gonna hurt anything, it's perfectly fine. Surge, period, in my opinion, is not gonna help reliability. Okay, well, even though all we care about here at Naptown Tuner Garage is performance, because we're a performance channel only. And you're about to see a lot more performance videos. I've been cooking up some stuff. Can't tell too much. Should we just get to it? I've already... People complain sometimes. They're like, oh, 4 minutes in and 5 minutes in and you still haven't got to it. All right, here it is. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you about it first. Thank you for purchasing a Go Fast Bits performance product. GFB bringing you an ever-expanding range of high-quality bolt-on performance accessories for your car. All components are designed and manufactured in-house to ISO 9001 standards using the latest multi-axis CNC machine and top-quality materials, so you can be sure GFB products will meet and exceed your performance, style, and quality expectations. For more information, warranty information, and to activate your global warranty, log on to www.gfb.com.au/warranty. Nobody knows a GFB product like we do, so if you have any problems, concerns, or comments, please don't hesitate to contact us for honest help and advice you can trust. Turbo Management Systems, the ultimate in high technology performance. GFB DV Plus, installation instructions, part number T9351. Installation. You're going to want to get a T30, even though the proper tool is a hex. And we're just gonna unbolt it, like so. You don't need to have the core support off for this. You can do this in the car. You'll have to get from underneath. Same with this tensioner and this idler, but that's for a different video. There's 3 bolts holding this little diverter valve in there. I'm gonna break them all loose, and then I'm gonna spin it out with a bit like such. 1, 2. The next one. And the last one. Now we're gonna give it a nice little gentle tug. Here's what we got. Looks like there's a couple different types in the instructions. We have the revision D, as you can see. There's also revision G. And this is how it goes together. Right like so. We're gonna pull on the back. Oh, look at that. It all just came off, and it looks exactly similar to what we're gonna be installing. We have the basket, this little metal plunger deal, this thing with some holes in it that looks like a jet turbine, and this thing that is just like a wobbly. This is the kind of performance that you're gonna get. It's elevated bar graphs. So we got longer bolts, we got a spring, let's just put it together like this. This is the factory installed spring that I pulled off here. Pretty tall. This is the spring from the kit. I'm gonna put it in there. And the next step is this deal right here. We're gonna put it up in there. Now we have the housing here, and we have a little hole right there, so we gotta read the instructions and make sure it doesn't have an orientation. I didn't see it mention this hole in the orientation, but there is a picture, and I can follow the pictures, and it has printed labels on this valve right here. So I'm gonna install it just like the picture, right like so. And then this is supposedly supposed to snap in. This one, I just have to make sure, friends. There's a little locating pin right here. So now I'm going to make sure it's located in the locating pin. You see right there? So it has to go like this right here. Now it's sitting flush. This is the picture that I followed. And in this picture, it had the GFB on top, but correctly orientated, it's got DV Plus printed on top. Okay, so now we got to put the piston in, and it says to lightly oil this piston. But before we put that piston in, we have another spring. So we're going to drop that right up in here. Now we have the piston that we're supposed to lightly oil, so I'm going to set it right here. And for this application, we will be using the gel lubricant from WD-40 Specialist. I'll be doing a big chemical video soon. I've got everything. Ooh, look at that. It's jelly. But not actual jelly. It's just jelly lubricant. Nice. Hope that stuff's safe on rubber. We're going to use the longer bolts and install it. But first we're going to make sure that we got everything correct. The O-ring was already installed. I didn't touch it from the back side. The top O-ring was already installed. I didn't touch it. The spring has no orientation. Let's bolt it in. So for bolting this in, it's handy to have a T30 screwdriver. I can just put one of my bolts on the end of this screwdriver, make sure I have it correctly orientated, and then I can start it right in. Follow it up with the remaining two. Now let's do the final torque. Remember, they're longer bolts. Those were the factory ones. I put the longer bolts in like I was supposed to, so you should put the longer bolts in. Final torque is complete. We'll do a different video where I'm gonna spend some time with it and I'm gonna see how I like it and how many horsepowers I gained on a dyno test. Well, we probably won't put it on a dyno yet. Okay, that's it. Subscribe to Naptown Tuner for more videos. Next, we're actually gonna do the wiring repair and put the belts and pulleys on and stuff like that.